I'm gonna reset you here. Yep. Yeah, they jumped last time too, and that's in that same scenario after the first headbutt. So do it again. Nice. I'll do it a third time. That's ult skills refunding 25% at work there. You know, again, the SPD was on cooldown that entire time, right? But yeah, obviously you can use your ult skills even when the skill is on cooldown. It just does half damage. All right, folks, we are back for more Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising action for you here on the road to #1. And we have Quirk, friend of the Discord server, friend of the channel, Mr. Dr. Quirk themselves. Let's see how we can get on here versus their Vaseraga. Vaseraga, again, I think is a matchup that is, like, pretty decent for Ladiva, in all honesty. Right? I feel like it's kind of difficult for Vaseraga to deal with a lot of what... Oh, I mean, that works for sure. Far M, definitely a safe enough gap for the U-Tackle there. A lot of Ladiva's pressure does not have that sort of safe gap, though, for the U-Tackle. But Far M definitely will work there. Or sorry, more so using it as a counter to Far M is more so what I meant. Bonk. Okay, sure. Okay. Understandable. Have a nice day. Nice. There's that technical input 214U as well, right? Not for any extra damage, because you're not going to get any extra damage in that circumstance, but more so just so it's a little bit less prone to misinputs on my part, right? Doing like back and special feels weird. I mean, it feels normal, but I roll it from back to special quite often, and that results. Oh god, I didn't think they would crouch. I was trying to punish them for the Soul Forge activation. Oh god, nice grab, or nice jump rather, nice guess on the grab. There's a nice grab. They wouldn't do it again, would they? Okay, nope, they would not. Sure. Ow, my bad. Understandable. And only one brave point on the Vaseraga. It's definitely good news to me. Yep, we can grab him out of. That's another thing too. Is like grabbing Vaseraga out of the steppers. There is like that's something for sure. But Ladiva does it better than just about anyone else. Oh, I'm mine. And by that I mean I'm yours. Oh no, the unblockable cheeks, man. I will never react to Vaseraga 667, no matter how many times it happens. It simply cannot be done. It's pretty quick. I mean, it's 22 frames. That's like that's as far as you know the reactable moves in the game. That's on the quicker side for sure. Ow, ow. Okay, we're eating this in the corner. What's the movement? Okay, nice. A little bit of a hesitation there on punishing our whiff from Quirk. Leads to good results for us. Get grabbed. I'm just gonna 6-6H this. What's the move? I'm waiting for them to use something blue, but no, good patience. They just waited and sniped me out instead. Understandable. Have a nice day. Now I'm talking about the incredibly cracked Vegeta. Oh, that was light battalions. Didn't even use the armor. Okay, sure. Gotta give a little bit more respect to these battalions. Oh, okay, Jansu. Sure. They don't have Soul Forge up right now. It's an important thing to remember. Nice. Okay. I actually did it the 2-1-4, like the back and S way this time, which could have led to some unfortunate misinputs, but that didn't happen. And that right there is exactly one of the huge reasons that I think this matchup sucks for Vaseraga. Is that Ladiva is like her entire thing is all about structuring her pressure around that meaty close L, and that just kills him. He just doesn't have a DP against the 50-50, man. And the gap between two close L's is also too small for him to U-tackle. It is not a 5-frame gap. Okay, sure. Oh, okay, double shirt. This is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, that's a little scary. No doubt about it. No Soul Forge on the Vaseraga, though. That's obviously always great news. On my honor as a lady, even. Gonna run at him and jump. No, okay, I thought they would try the DP, or trying to beat out like a 6XL or something. That was not what happened, though. Give me your toes. Oh, yeah. See, that's why we do it. That's why we want to do it with the technical input, right? I didn't do it with technical input that time, and that is the exact problem. Why? Is like when I'm in the heat of things, I roll the stick from down to back instead of nice the unblockable cheeks as always. I roll the stick from down to back instead of going down neutral back, which is what you have to do. If I roll it from down to back and hit S, right, when I or the special button, right, when I have 100 meter, what ends up happening all the time is that I just end up getting 214S, which is the input for that super, right? That's why I've been trying to do 214U. There's far fewer bounds to misinput that. I'm gonna reset you here. Yep. Yeah, they jumped last time too, and that's in that same scenario after the first headbutt. So do it again. Nice. I'll do it a third time. That's ult skills refunding 25% at work there. You know, again, the SPD was on cooldown that entire time, right? But yeah, Obviously, you can use your ult skills even when the skill is on cooldown. It just does half damage. Still, fine enough. 3 in a row there. More than enough to kill Vaseraga in that circumstance. Nice. Bonk. Okay, sure. Brave counter used. Here I am, getting stepped on by big steppers. Man, 2 brave points used. I'll take that gladly. Any DPers? No. Any DPers? There you go. But okay, and the landing frames. Nothing. I mean, I could have tried to roll maybe. That's my best option when I get caught in the landing frames like that. But realistically, that shit ain't gonna work out most of the time. You just kind of get caught. Raging Strike. Okay, sure. Oh, could not convert that. Unfortunate. That's why this matchup is ass for Vaseraga. The second close L definitely still counts. Is he dead? I think so. No, I couldn't get the proper catch there because we didn't have quite as much height as I might have wanted, but we just kind of I missed a couple of conversions right there too, right, to get the kill. But in the end, we do still find the kill there on Quirk. Good stuff for them. Good games for sure. But yeah, personally, I know Fuselit disagrees with me on that fact that it's a little bit of a tough matchup for Vaseraga there. But I think that's partially just because he's Fuselit. Like, I think it's very telling that matchup is pretty good for Ladiva, I think. That, like, I can, like, put up a decent... I mean, I haven't run into him in bracket ever. But, like, on ranked and in, like, you know, the Thug finals of the tournament, obviously that's a very casual set. But yeah, and ranked is also, it's not the same, Giga locked in. This might be Quirk again by the ping. Which, I mean, like, I'll take. If they're down to do the run back, I'm down to do the run back. Yes, no, maybe so. But yeah, the point is, even in, like, on ranked, I can, like, put up a decent fight against Fuselit, despite him being way better than I am at the video game, right? And I think a big part of that is that the matchup was kind of tough for, like I would say, really tough for Vaseraga. No matchup, by the way, we can talk about this for a second. I think this is an interesting talking point. By the way, well, I mean, another tangent. Let me go 2 tangents and I'll reel myself back in. Real quick, like, if you're enjoying the content, I'm glad you are. I'm going to put out a lot more of this, so you got a lot to look forward to. So if you'd like to leave a like or, a little subscribe or a comment or something like that on the video, I'd greatly appreciate it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. You're also doing Discord. That one's even, even more so for you than me. I mean, it's great for me to have more people in Discord, but I think it's also a nice community for you to hang out in. Okay, that's it. Caught. I'm done. Shiro. Awesome. Okay, wait, what was the tangent I was talking about before? Oh, yeah, matchups in this game, like, okay, this is a good example, right? Cagliostro Ladiva is not great for Ladiva. It's a bad matchup. But, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, like, the sort of the 10, like, the number 10 system, sort of, for ranking matchups, like 6-4, 5-5, 7-3, right? To say, like, if 2 players of exactly equal skill played 10 games, what would the set count be, right? And the idea is, if 2 players have exactly equal skill, then the only thing left, and that's obviously a hypothetical that never exists. 2 players of exactly the equal skill, basically, simply, like, they don't exist, right? But hypothetically, that the point then is that at that point, oh, when she guards, when she gets hit, the traps go away. When she blocks, they're still there. Of course, I knew this, but I didn't properly act on that knowledge that time. Nice, tried to lariat the startup of the Pierce there, but no such luck. Okay, let's see. It's a scary place to be here against Shiro, no doubt about it. Oh, far H is the button of the gods, and I was worried about it there. But yeah, so that was the world's longest perfect, by the way. That's crazy. This kept me out for so long. Like, that was not a perfect where they just, like, steamroll. Like, that was, well, they steamrolled me, but, like, in a zonery way, right? They didn't just, like, run up on me and do, like, 2 combos and kill me. Like, they just, like, beat my ass. I just, like, consistently could not get in on them, and they reaped the benefits there. So that's very good by them. I mean, Shiro, not unsurprising, right? Shiro, incredibly strong, Cagliostro. So I'm not surprised, at the very least. Maybe you are, but that's just because you don't know how good Shiro is. Anyway. It's gonna get you to the corner? I think so. Yes. So matchups, people talk about, like, like a 5-5 matchup, for example, is theoretically, am I gonna get Lariat back in time? Indeed I am. Great. That means Cagliostro's dead. Wonderful. So a 5-5 matchup is theoretically even, right? A 6-4 matchup means is like, a decent, like 6-4 is already, like, people talk about 5.5, like 4.5, something. 6-4 is already a pretty decent disadvantage, right? That means that just on how the character interactions go alone, right, you will win, on average, 2 more matches than the other guy, right? So that's already pretty big. Like, that, I think, reasonably is, like, in modern fighting games, that's, like, as bad as it gets. People will talk about, like, 7-3 matchups and, like, 8-2 matchups. And a lot of times, I know people are, like, exaggerating, right? I understand. They're exaggerating it for comedic effect. It's like, bro, like, X and Y matchup feels 8-2. Oh, God, I hate fighting this character. I feel you. I get it, right? But, like, realistically, you have to realize that, like, an 8-2 matchup is, like, bordering on unwinnable. Right? Like, the odds, if 2 people of exactly the same skill played 10, like, oh, well, also, like, while I was trying to do that, I just had a very hard time getting it on Shiro there, so it's fine. They turned us to dust. It's okay. But yeah, if 2 people of exactly the same skill played 10 games, you're telling me that one of them is 4 times as likely to win as the other, right? That's what you're saying with A2. It is, and again, there's no skill diff at all. It is purely how the characters interact, right? So that is, like, bordering on an unwinnable matchup. And like, oh, no, 9-1 is still winnable. Just win the one in 10. Okay, yes. Like, 8-2 is already bordering on unwinnable, right? So that doesn't exist. It exists in some old fighting games, for sure. Because there's like a low tier, like for example, I would argue Ladiva is a low tier in Granblue Fantasy vs. Trizon. Now, this is for talking about tournament play. I genuinely, unironically, think Ladiva is probably, nice. Ladiva is probably like, you know, like an actual top 10 or top 5 character until, nice, I didn't block the overhead there. I'm getting caught by a lot of stuff. Partially because I'm like on such a deep tangent that's not even about the match, but you know, it's fine, it's okay. Regardless, she's probably like top 10 or like maybe even top 5 or something until you get to S++. But, you know, once you get to the slightly higher levels of play in the video game, right, she's like quite bad, in my opinion. But she is still an incredibly, like, she's a totally functional and viable character that can win sets even at the highest level. Absolutely. Right? Because that's what low tiers are nowadays. Low tiers will be characters that are like, they're more inconsistent. It's harder for them to like consistently enforce their game plan compared to a top tier, right? Like you know, someone like if you want to say that Siegfried is like he's a very strong character, right? So if you want to talk about Siegfried as a strong character, one of the big reasons about that is that it's very easy for Siegfried to get to his win condition, right? Even just like him making you block can be like pretty scary sometimes, right? And he can win neutral very easily, which is a very big part of getting to his win condition. He's got great buttons. He's got obviously the EX Fireball, which is a huge part of that too, right? Lots of different reasons that Siegfried could potentially be like, it's very easy for him to enforce the board state, if you will, if you want to talk about like a card game for a second, that wins him the video game. Whereas for Ladiva, it might be a little bit harder. Because yeah, Ladiva, I mean, but her win condition is still very strong. It's just more difficult for her to get there. This is awful. I'm going to air block these. Okay, that's good. I got hit by the overhead, but there was no trap to back it up. This should work, I think. No, we got stuffed out by the rock. Terrible news, if I do say so myself. Chansu, I'm just going to say you're not going to DP. Oh, you are going to DP. Nice. I was hard called out that you wouldn't. Unfortunately, they absolutely would. I thought like maybe they would like, oh, what if they block my DP and punish? But no. Honestly, for how like deep in another tangent I was there, I'm quite happy. I feel like we played that pretty, again, like Cagliostro, I feel like I have a decent idea of what to do in the matchup. Definitely, I was getting caught by a few too many 6/6Ms there, for sure. Like, yeah, so the reason that Siegfried is top tier and Ladiva is low tier, right, is that Ladiva's win condition is very strong. Like, getting you in the corner here, this is a very bad position to be against Ladiva. But it's a lot harder for her to do this because she has to win neutral to do so, and she has, like, maybe the worst neutral in the entire video game, right? And her defense is bad. She's got lots of holes. When she's not in her win condition, the game is very scary for her, right? Whereas, like, Siegfried's much more well-rounded, you know, and his win condition is easy to enforce, and it's also still very, very strong because he has such high corner damage, right? So, hey, what's going on, Char? But the point being that a low-tier character in a modern fighting game is not a useless character. Low-tier characters in, like, old fighting games used to not have win conditions. Like, this didn't work. Like, they had one, maybe it was so unbelievably unrealistic that just, like, never happened. Or, you know, like, the parts of their kit just, like, straight up will be non-functional, right? Like, think about, like, something like Alt Headbutt, right? Being, like, kind of, like, sometimes straight up non-functional as a reversal for Ladiva in the sense that, like, it has fewer armor frames and startup frames. People can, like, punch her out of her reversal, like, relatively often, right? It's still fine. It still works as a reversal most of the time. There's some like weird circumstances sometimes where it just like completely fails her. Imagine if like every move that Ladiva had was like alt headbutt, right? And like worse even sometimes. Or like that like half of her most important moves for her win condition were like alt headbutt, right? Then you start getting into what like low tiers used to look like in older fighting games. And when you have top tiers that are not like, oh, just kind of well-rounded and do everything super well, but no, they have something that is like literally there is no counterplay against it whatsoever, right? Then you start getting into like what some of the older top tiers might have looked like in older video games, and then you pit those two characters up against each other, right? We're getting to the end of the tangent, I promise. That's when you start looking at, oh, okay, this matchup is like A2, right? And even then, it's rare. Like even then, it has to be like a really bad character that happens to be also a horrible matchup for the really good character, right? Or I guess the really good character has to be a horrible matchup for them, is the more accurate way to say that, right? Like, that's when you start... Oh, my bad. I'm horrible at reacting to raging strikes. So, I mean, again, I'm reacting to it. I just, like, I keep rolling the stick. Like I was talking about with why I want to do 2-1-4-U to do Larius instead of back S. Because when I'm in, like, a tense moment, I don't let the stick go back to neutral. I roll the stick back from down to back, and that doesn't give you spot dodge. You have to let it go to neutral for that. But yeah, like, that's when you start talking about A2, 7-3 matchups, right? Things like that, right? These, in my opinion, these do not exist in Granblue. Maybe if somebody really, if there's like, there might be like 1-7-3 in Granblue or something like that. If somebody like really had a very compelling argument, I could try and see it. But as a character, as someone who plays a character that's very polarized and has some very bad matchups as a result, yeah, I ran right into that. I was hoping he wouldn't do that, but he most certainly did. As someone who plays like a character who probably has like some of the worst matchups in the game, considering just how like strong her strengths are, but how weak her weaknesses are, and how exploitable that makes her into certain people. Nice. I feel like I would know if there was a 7-3 in this game. I feel like there isn't. Like, Fairy Ladiva is pretty bad. Cagliostro Ladiva is pretty bad. I don't think either of those, like, they might be 6-4s. They might be 6.5, 3.5, so if you want to, like, really split hairs, but at that point, Like, you're really just kind of like, you know, what are you talking about? Blood? You know? So regardless, the point is that, like, I don't think they exist in the video game. I've heard, the one that I've heard tell of is I've heard that Vayne really kills Charlotta, which makes sense. Again, if a 7-3 exists, it will belong, like, the 7 in their favor, or the 3 against their favor will belong to one of... Oh, right, he just didn't tech. I was trying to do a reset there, but yeah, he can just not tech and go from there. He's gonna Raging Strike me, I think. Yup. Look at that. I actually recovered. I actually put the stick back to neutral. But yeah, it's gonna be like, you know, Fairy, Vayne, stuff like that. They're gonna have one of the 7s or the 3s, right? Because they are just such specialized characters, right? If a character is bad against the thing that they are very good at defeating, they're gonna have a great time. If a character is good against their weakness, they're going to have a horrible time. If he wants to spend 2 brave points every time like that, I will take that 100 times out of 100, Mr. Char. Don't mind me. Oh, he's out of range. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. This is -1, which means we're gonna clash here. The Granblue. Oh, he didn't go for it. I thought we were gonna do the handshake. I am blocking this, which means I got a close M punish. Wonderful. What was I talking about? Something about matchups, right? I was spewing some nonsense. I kind of want to. Oh, okay. I wasn't blocking. I tried to do a funny there. It wasn't funny enough though. Oh god. He gets a conversion off this because he's in install. I see you, mister. I couldn't spot dodge that in time because I didn't realize that it was happening in time, to be completely honest with you. Brave counter. Headbutt. Oh, I thought he was going for like a 6XM there. It even looked like he maybe was. Oh, I was hitting the guard button, but I was not blocking low, unfortunately. I only got 1/2 of the mix there. But if such a matchup exists, it'll be like, you know, Vayne, Charlotta, or like Fairy Ladiva. I don't think Fairy Ladiva is that bad though, but you know, something like that. But I don't think they exist. This has been my very, very long tangent on like matchups in this game are not that bad, and if you're losing, it's probably a you issue. It's probably a skill issue on your part, almost certainly. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that's an insult. If anything, that's a good thing. No, wouldn't you rather the problem be in your hands instead of just like, oh, game's unfair, guess you'll never win? It's a good thing, right? Like this, if every matchup is like very winnable in this video game, and it's just like you're not playing them well, isn't that a good thing? Like, isn't it now, okay, well, awesome. Now I can get better, and then I can deal with this bad matchup for myself, instead of, the game's unfair, I guess I just have to, like, uninstall and, like, give up, right? Well, I would rather that be the case, for sure. I know some people like, sometimes, I'm not even saying this in, like, a derogatory way, sometimes complaining about things can just, like, make the sting of a loss feel, like, better, right? Like, it's like, if you can blame that loss on, like, the game being unfair or, like, bullshit, and so that was actually very scary. Char is very surprised at this, I'm sure, because I usually do not dodge Raging Strikes like this, but I'm feeling it. Mr. Krabs, I'm really feeling it. And I mixed up the SpongeBob thing and like the Shulk thing from Xenoblade and just ran up and threw me twice. Fair enough. I should have been a little bit more committal on my offense when I ran in that one time. I could have tried to like SPD him or something, but I did not go for that. Anyways, wouldn't you rather that the matchup just be like, the matchup's maybe a little bit bad, but it's winnable, and if you play better, you can win instead of just having to doom about the game? But again, I understand a lot of people, like, sometimes you're just like mad you just lost and you feel bad about yourself, so you want to complain about the video game. And I'm not, again, I promise I'm not saying that as an insult at all, right? It's a natural human way of dealing with like some discomfort sometimes. But in the grand scheme of things, I think we should be able to recognize that like there is nothing that is like that bad in this video game. Granblue is fairly balanced. Again, even Ladiva, maybe people like, oh, you're downplaying your main. Okay, fine. Let's talk about another character who I think is like pretty universally accepted to be like pretty bad, right? Fairy. Fairy is like pretty bad. She's pretty good into Ladiva, right? But she's a pretty bad character, right? She can beat every character in the video game, right? Again, she's going to, if there is a 7-3 matchup, it'll be either for her or against her, right? But still, she can beat every character in the video game, like pretty reasonably too. I don't think any of her matchups are like completely unwinnable. There's matchups obviously that are worse for her and matchups that are very good for her, right? And she is like the worst example. She's like the most polarized character, her and Vayne probably, right? Like if there was a character in this game that would have an unwinnable matchup, it would be like Fairy, right? There'll be a nigh unwinnable matchup, right? It would be her where she's like, I just can't do anything against this Seox guy or something, right? Because of how weak her weaknesses are, and if you're good at getting around her strength, she has nothing left. But even she, I don't think she has like a 7. I don't think she has like a 3-7 against her matchup, right? I don't think so. I could definitely see that, like, you know, someone like Seox, someone like Siegfried probably is pretty tough for her to deal with. Things like that. A lot of the top tiers tend to have like pretty good matchups into like characters who are not well rounded, right? But I don't think so. I don't think it's that bad. So, and then if you don't play Fairy, right? If you play like Vera or something, if you play like a nice, like well-rounded character, like you don't have anything that's worse than like like a 5.5, 4.5. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The game's balanced. And again, even like the lowest of low tiers, your fairies, your Ladivas, your I'm gonna say Vaseraga, depending there's some like debate on that, which I think is crazy. All of the like your Avatar Belials of the world, the lowest of low tier characters can still like win tournaments and beat the top tiers like semi consistently, right? It's a very well balanced game. It's a very well balanced game. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Why I got so deep into this tangent right now, but there you go. We did it. We're here. We're done with this. Let's talk about let's focus on what's happening in our next match here. I still gotta work on Scavenger Z. Awesome. I still gotta work on far L's into Raging Strike, anti-airing with 623L, and well, spot dodging Raging Strike actually was a lot better. That just kind of happened. Like I talked enough about telling myself to reset the stick back to neutral that I finally actually did it with my hands. Again, because I've been reacting to them, I just been doing the wrong mechanical like answer every time. Nice. I got 2H for my trouble. Oh god, definitely should have jumped out of that. Do a Rekka, Mr. Siegfried, sir. That's minus. Yep. Unless he gets a little bit of stank on it, a little bit of English going on that shit, it's gonna be minus. But with no charge on that, I think it's like -4 or something. It's not punishable. It's safe. Oh my, whiff punish into hit confirm. Okay, you can get the full cinematic at least. Could have been worse, I suppose. 6-6H, my beloved. DP. No. Okay. I didn't do the proper way there either. I still did the back S. I just put the stick back to neutral. I mean, if I can learn to put the stick back to neutral, that is going to be easier. Right? But I feel like in the clutch, I always roll it back. But I mean, maybe I should learn to put it back to neutral for both reasons. For Raging Strike and for... Because maybe letting the stick go back to neutral is something I need to get more used to. Again, oh, that's plus. You see, you got a little bit more English on it that time. Nice. Reacted to the command grab. Like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do 2-1-4U. Maybe I should do back and S, but I should teach myself to let the stick go back to neutral, because it'll also help me with my Raging Strike dodges, right? That's convincing enough that I'll try it for now. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I think I'll try that for now. Okay, sure. 6-6H whiffs. Oh, yeah, like right there again, I rolled back, so I can get what I wanted. Oh my god, the content button. I love you. Bonk, bonk. Get reset, nerd. Oh, baby. Guess who was not ready to get reset? I mean, after you get hit with the 5U, after you get hit with the content button, you're not ready for anything, man. That's the brain destroyer right there. That's like, oh god, how did I let that thing hit me? Especially if you know, like, it's like a 40 frame startup from where I hit him there. But, you know, every now and then, it'll work. Everything's reactable until you get punched in the face or something. That's what Mike Tyson said, right? He was talking about Street Fighter 2 Alpha Turbo. He's a boomer. Nice. Punishable there. Blocking the 6XM. I'm not going to go for max damage or anything. It's going to push him into the corner and go from there. Let's do this. Just to get some actual Oki out of the situation. We'll spend the Brave Point. I'll take it right back, too. There you go. Spend the Brave Point, get the Brave Point right back. You'll love to see it. Is this like Smash music playing in the background, by the way? It's like dun 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 dun. Am I tripping? I don't know. No, it's not. Okay, but it sounded like the... what is that? Is that Brawl? Or Melee? Dun 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 dun. I think that's Brawl, right? That little refrain there. Nice. Spot dodge, so it'll be minus on block there. If he gets the English on it, you can spot dodge it. If he doesn't, it's minus, right? So, again, like this is a great example. This, for my money, is the best character in the video game. And he's very, very good. You are not going to see you're not going to see an iota of Siegfried downplay from me. This character is too good and he needs nerfs, okay? We're good. Like, we both agree, almost everything in his move is like best in class or like top 5 or lower, right? He has the best or like the second, third, fourth, or fifth best version of like everything in the video game. Okay? I agree. He's really good and he needs nerfs. But is he like unbeatably OP? No, not at all. And if you think so, you're probably you're just mad that you lost to him and you're sad about it, right? But like, no, he's like there's counterplay to everything that he has. It's just it's the risk reward is kind of too much in his favor. Too much of what he has is like too good. You know, like it's like, yeah, you can beat everything, but you have to be playing so much better than the Siegfried to like consistently beat everything that he's doing, right? So like, again, I just want to be very clear. This is not Siegfried downplay. Siegfried, in my opinion, is unconditional top 1 and needs to be nerfed. Because the fighting game community is not very reasonable sometimes when they hear you talking about anything in terms of like, oh yeah, like, you know, this character is strong, but they get crazy. They're like, oh, you're downplay. Oh, you don't understand. No, Siegfried is too strong. He is overtuned. He needs a nerf. Okay. But he is not really that oppressive in terms of like other top tiers. I mean, even like you could argue like even like 3-patch Nier was worse than Siegfriid, right? She was the undisputed number 1, and I would say she was probably like better than he was even before the Nier players like fully like figured out her max potential, right? Like he's not that like it's not like, oh my god, I saw Siegfried. I guess I just have to boot up. I just have to boot up a different fighting game. That's it. I'm done. I've lost. I can't do it. No, man. There's lots of answers to everything he does, right? You can still beat him. Even if you're playing Ladiva, right? Who's not a very good character and not very good into Siegfried, right? Specifically, it's like twofold. Ladiva is pretty low on the tier list, in my opinion, and I don't think she has a very good matchup into Siegfried. It's not like, oh, she's a low tier, but she just happens to play well into like him in particular. She has decent matchups with some of the top tiers for sure. I think Lancelot's not bad. I think Nier is unironically not bad for Ladiva. I think it's disadvantage. I think I'm about to mention is disadvantage, but it's like slight disadvantage, right? I think Nier is like not bad. If someone wants to say that Nier was like even, I could like see it, but I think her neutral is a little bit too good for me to believe that. But it's like slight disadvantage. I think Lancelot's not awful. I think it's slight disadvantage Ladiva. I think Seox is not awful, right? But like yeah, Lancelot kills her, or sorry, Siegfried kills her, Belial kills her. Like those two are very bad for her in terms of like that's like roughly the top 5. Cagliostro, I think you could argue there. That's another one. We're not gonna get into that. I think he's like somewhere in there, but I know some Cagliostro players will tell you he's like bottom 10 or something. It's okay. It's okay. My point is that like even a low tier fighting the best character in the game without a good matchup necessarily can still beat the character just fine. There's still more than enough room for you to just like play well enough to beat them, right? Top tiers are not that big of a deal in this video game. I'm not saying we shouldn't balance them. I'm just saying that like, you know, there are games with much more oppressive top tiers, even that like they aren't even that new, right? Like Season 1 Happy Chaos is worse than anything in this video game, right? And that's a mod, like Strive's still a modern fighting game, right? Like you go back, you talk about like some of the like some old fighting games, right? Which again, I will admit, I am not as familiar with those, but from what I've heard, right, and from what I've seen, right, even just like what's like a really good example? Like I mean, I don't know, I might be losing people at this point in terms of an audience, but if I remember correctly, I think. Season 1 Street Fighter 4, right before, I mean not Season 1, but they had like before they had like so many different versions of it, like Omega and Ultra and all that shit, right? Like the release version of Street Fighter 4 had some funny looking characters in it for sure, right? Like if I remember correctly, Sagat was pretty crazy. Funny enough, Zangief was pretty good in the release version of that video game, if I remember. Or even like Elena from like the later parts of Street Fighter 4, right? A character that like, you know, when you hit her, she built meter and she could spend her meter to heal, and she had like really great evasive moves and things like that, right? Like that's not really a thing. I mean, like probably I played a little bit of Exert. I would argue probably like Johnny and Elfilt and Exert are both worse than anything here. And again, I'm not trying to be like, oh, dude, other fighting games have it worse, so you can't complain. It's okay if you want to complain about Siegfried and assume that they want to buff. They need nerfs or like Nier or Belial or anything. Again, that's totally fine. I'm just saying we can agree. We can have both things happening. By the way, Canna Sprite, very high ranked Narmaya, who apparently is trying to, you know, they're out here with the Master Vera, trying to maybe pick up a secondary. I don't know if Vera like covers some of Narmaya's bad matchups or something. Regardless, maybe that's playing them for fun too. Vera looks like a fun character to me. Oh god, they mistimed that, and I spot dodged because I'm a fool. I know nothing. I take the role of a silly clown. Okay, my bad. I'm gonna do it again. I mean, I gotta look out for the startup of Scarlet Oath here. Potentially try and murder Vera for it, or I'll get air unblockable by Luminaria. My bad, sir. Am I dead? Column has got to come soon, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, fine. DP? No. Okay, I did it again. Oh god, the backdash actually worked that time. DP? Yep. Oh, I didn't. I thought I spot dodged. I guess I didn't. My bad. That's on me. I really thought I spot dodged second of that DP, but I guess oh, you know what I must have done? Again, I must have rolled the stick from down to back instead of just letting it go back to neutral. Again, I'm very much sold on DP. I'm very much sold on. Okay. Oh, nice crouch. I'm very much sold on doing the lariats the regular way now, just because I need to learn to let the stick go back to neutral sometimes, make that a more natural movement for my hands, for the sake of both spot dodging rating strikes and this right here, right? This conversion. Oh, nice spot dodge, by the way. On reaction to block there, you definitely still can spot dodge it, but I definitely find it's a little bit less comfortable to do that than do it when it's just done raw out of neutral, right? But, you know, Sprite definitely ready for that nonsense. Okay, nice. Okay, double nice. Oh, they spot dodge. That actually would have been still my turn. I should have kept going there. DP? No. Okay. Understandable. Have a nice Luminaria. That's unfortunate. That's it. It just whiffed completely there. And I tried to brave counter. I didn't have any brave points, so I just ended up doing nothing, and I got hit by a raging strike. Unfortunate. Yeah, I gotta work on air command grabbing Vera out of her little her install hops there. It's not a bad option. DP once again. Oh, I see. And if I air block the DP, Luminaria catches me. I wondered why they were doing that. It seemed kind of like risky, but I understand now. I do. It's like Danny DeVito in the movie theater. I get it. No. Okay, cool. Nice. We'll just do a lariat here. No reason to do anything too fancy. Damn. Nope. Okay. I ain't talking about Crofts. Okay. At least he's not an install. He's gonna combo off that. I really thought he was gonna reversal super. I had to respect that. It's a very scary reversal super to get hit by. I tried to jump there. Didn't quite react in time to the 5U. I was too busy looking at... They hit me with that made you look with Luminaria. And that too, I just got absolutely schmixed out of my socks there, unfortunately. With the hops. That's bad. What's the mix? Okay. Nothing much there. I got crushed out of my 2M by that 5U. Crazy stuff, if I do say so myself. DP? No. Okay. Oh, no. Definitely meant to U Lariat there. Probably still would have died, but... this is bad. This is what I would call double plus ungood. Yeah. I mean, getting to that point, we were on the defensive for too long there. We just ended up sort of dying to chip. That was, I mean, it was very hard for us to bring that round back once, like, any special would have killed us. We just gotta try not to get into that in the first place. And also try not to let her get any free 5Us on us here, if we can help it. Nice. I'll use a Raging Strike here just to, like, get some better Oki off the situation, because I wasn't gonna get anything otherwise. So sure, let's do exactly that. Get grabbed. Yeah, exactly. Like, that Raging Strike spend has led to this situation here. Nice. The delay there, right, to try and catch them mashing, making them think that there was a command grab coming or something. There was not a command grab coming. It's just like it's a little thing, right? You can delay the EX headbutt just a little bit there to kind of spook people, right? When they see like it's been a while and I haven't been hit, they might try to hit a button, expecting command grab. If they're like really twitchy, right? Which Sprite definitely has very good reactions. So I was trying to kind of use that against them to an extent. Okay, at least I jumped back. I should have jumped, like, neutral jumps, but at least jumping back there. Ooh, really? Headbutts reached. I was worried. But yeah, at least we back jumped there so she can get install at the very least, right? That'll always be good news. I should have hit the guard button. I got crossed up there and I got reset into command grab. My bad. I was too busy thinking about how I should have hit the guard button there that I just wasn't even paying attention to what was happening to me on the screen. All three? Ooh, okay. Good patience. Good patience. I see you. It's all fine. You can. I mean, you're just pushing me. Yeah. I mean, eventually I'll get you for it, but on principle, I'm not too upset about you doing that. Sure. Empty jump, low, backdash gets caught by ult lariat. You got to be careful about that sort of stuff. I'm gonna do this because it'll kill. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Yeah, you gotta be careful backdashing. I mean, it's definitely like it is a lot of the times it'll be a hard read from Ladiva, right? Because backdashes aren't that reactable, and even if I do react, you're usually safe blocking by that point. But if I do read that you're gonna backdash or do something like that, I can. That's great. You know what? Fair enough. You got me. I was so... Yep. That is very fair. Just kind of walk back, walk forward, walk back, walk forward, and then 5U. My ass didn't react. I can't... You got to hand it to him. You got to hand it to him. I can't say anything about that. I got boomed there. It's fine. It happens. Bonk, bonk. Get down here. Combo limit. Who gave you the right? You don't have the right. Oh, you don't have the right. I'll do this. I don't want to... I'd rather the Oki, to be completely honest with you. Okay, DP. That's fine. There goes my Oki, but it's, you know, the idea was sound. Oh, right, it's an overhead. Forgot about that part. Oh, no, 2M. Wait, did you get a combo off this? Yeah, she does. Okay. 2M just barely out of reach there, unfortunately. Yeah, right. So the first hit of Stun Dipper there is a low. The second it's an overhead. I always got to remember that. It's actually very rare that I, like, have to interact with that move. Either, like, doesn't happen, or I jump over it, or I'm just, like, not in range of it or something. Okay, sure. Okay. All this is fine. Overhead, sure. Also fine. Thought you had me. Luminaires doing Luminaire things. This is all G on my part. Nice. Bonk, bonk. Didn't let it roll back to neutral there, but I didn't have meter. I didn't have 100 meter, so that was okay. First super? Yeah. Vera players only want one thing, and it is disgusting. Bonk. Get down here. DP? Be honest. Ooh, no brave counter though. Oh no, no auto turn, not like this. It is a great anti-air, but not if someone is very quickly horizontally moving and could end up behind you, right? That's when that can really fail you in an unfortunate way. Nice. I was not ready for the overhead there, and I will pay with my life for it. Understandable, Mr. Sprite. I see you. Okay, good games. Yeah, that's it's an unfortunate thing, right? This is a really good it's a really good air-to-air. But specifically for people who are, like, you know, coming at you, if they're coming at you way too fast, it doesn't side correct, right? So that was kind of the unfortunate circumstance that happened there. I could have done a little bit earlier, probably, and been fine. I should have committed to it. Maybe super jumped even to, like, super jump backwards or something to keep them. But yeah, I gotta get better at, like, figuring out the air trajectory and, like, what the best position is to do that. I jumped forward, right? If I had jumped back, there really could have been a different story there. I'm not sure. Regardless, though, I'm not upset with how that went at all. I think we played decently. We just got caught by a couple of 5Us for sure, right? Gotta be a little bit more, you know, awake at the wheel, I suppose, against Vera sometimes, but it's fine. Overall, had a good time with that video. Very long tangent about matchups and top tiers and like how the actual difference between the best and worst character in the game and things like that. But I hope you guys found that at least, you know, somewhat entertaining, and if you didn't find it that informative. For now, though, if you made it this far in the video, as always, I've got 4 things for you. I'm going to keep it nice and quick here if I can, and I'm going to try not to motor mouth my way through it too much either. Number one, join the Discord, link in the description down there for you. It's a nice community, so I encourage you to do so. But just be nice if you do, or I'll shoot you in the head. For number two, if you like the video, like the video. That's simple. For number three, while you're down there liking the video, which you should be doing, you can hit that subscribe button and bell button as well. If you like the content, but it's too much for you to watch every single day, then you can get notified and only watch stuff that's really interesting to you. I also stream on Twitch, link in the description down there for you. The stream schedule will be found in that link too. If you want to come hang out, I think it's a good time. Otherwise, if you just want to drop a follow there, I could appreciate that as well. But for number four, most importantly, more important than our buttons to smash, or whatever YouTube or Twitch friendly interactions you hit me with, I appreciate that. But I hope you had a great time hanging out today, most of all. I know I sure did. Yeah, fun times. I think we were doing a little bit better in terms of us playing. We spot out some raging strikes, so that's a big deal. JM has become very natural to me now. I guess the big thing right now, letting the stick return back to neutral has kind of ended up being the thing that I'm working on in a weird way. But also, you know, we're still going to work on converting far Ls into raging strikes, anti-airing with 6-2-3L sometimes, right? Things like that. For now, though, that's going to do it. I'm having a lot of fun with Granblue. It's going to be a lot more coming your way, but until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.